Joe's Cross Smoker. It's used. It's pretty dirty. Came with some good stuff. Got the charcoal starter. All the grates look in good orders. We got the diffuser along the bottom. Stack's a little small. We don't have the stack relocate modification to make the smoke come more off the grate. We got the temperature probe high in the unit. A lot of people say it's better to be down by the grate, so we'll probably get another one and put it a little closer. Don't have the second temperature probe on the top. The firebox looks pretty good. It's rusted, so we're going to clean it up, and instead of painting it, I think we're going to season it with some oil. And we'll take a closer look in there. And there's some good stuff on the bottom that we're going to go and take a look at. We'll bring you in for a closer look. Alright, start with the firebox. We have some rusting on the handle. The whole unit's pretty rusted. If you look in there, it doesn't look too bad. We've got no holes. The door. It's a little stuck. We'll have to get everything opened up. Right, so then there's a couple mods we're going to do in here. We're going to put in, make in a semi-insulated firebox. What that'll be is we'll put in a piece of metal to roll in around the bottom, leaving about an inch and a half air gap around it. We'll clean up in here. We may put a reflecting piece of metal on the top, but maybe not, because that's where the heat comes for the top with a little plate here. This can be to warm stuff up. They say to put your wood splits up there before you put them in. Next, we'll take a look at the smoking chamber or cooking grill. It doesn't look as weathered as the firebox. The temperature probe's a little weathered, some sun fading. It'll hopefully it still works. If not, we'll have to upgrade to some nicer ones. We'll look inside here. All the food grates look good, right? We don't got any rusting on them. They're just a little dirty. Right, however, we do have the baffle system, right? So what happens is it lets a little heat up through this area here, but most of the heat and smoke is diffused through the bottom. It's allowed to come up through this whole system and come around the side. I hope that it comes around the side and draws around. It may just come up and go up the stack. We'll have to do a test fire to check it out. Also, it looks like a lot of debris under here. So we may have to go in and clean it all up. What happens is if you have a lot of if you have a lot of debris on the bottom of your cooking area or smoking box, it promotes rust and doesn't do well for your smoker. Also, that's where the grease is going to collect. We want it to be able to collect it and clean it up easily. You can see over here on the diffuser how much grease is on this one. So we're going to clean that up, and then we'll do a quick test fire, and we'll season it up and make sure it's all nice and clean. Do a quick scrape in there. See how much buildup was on this. See how much rust is promoted by the buildup of this waste drippings from the previous cooks. Alright, so we'll do a better cleaning job on that, and then we'll show you how nice and clean it is and what we're going to do to season the metal so it doesn't rust as easily. Now you can see the whole smoker. It's got the short stack, So we're gonna put the 18-inch stack extension, we'll fab that up. We'll put on the relocate attachment, we'll fab that up to grab the smoke from the lower chamber. That already has the diffuser. When we fire it up, we'll, like I said, season it and we'll check for leaks. And then we're gonna be firing up a big brisket this weekend, and we'll do a nice video on our first cook and see how she performs with a brisket. We'll probably be doing 12 to 14 hour cook on that brisket. Got an initial scraping done, and just look at the amount of debris down there. If we move it, you can see it just promoted rusting on the bottom. It actually clogged the grease strip hole. So we even got a lot of debris or creosote or whatever smoking residue collecting in the bottom of the stack. Alright, so in the bottom of the stack here, we go in there, we got tons of debris in there which I've already started to clean out. And that's just going to promote more debris collecting in there. All in all, the smoker looks in pretty good shape, and we'll clean it up. Take a closer look in there now. There you go, it's a lot cleaner, but you can see how it just promotes the rust. And if you can see the drain hole in the bottom there was plugged before. Of course, we'll have to put a drip pail below it to catch all the drippings. And then if you look inside the stack, right, there was tons of debris and residue in there, right, at the bottom. Probably about 1.5 inches. So whoever had it before was doing a lot of cooking. It's still in great shape. We'll get it cleaned up and then we'll do some cooking. Alright, we got the door open on the bottom. It was quite filthy in there. I think the firebox has the most amount of rust in it. Doesn't look too good for when you're cooking. So we'll get it cleaned up. Like I said, what we're going to do in here is we're going to put a piece of sheet metal, 1/8 inch of thick, right? It'll come out, we'll have a shelf, it'll come down, roll around, matching the roll, and come over, and that'll give us a 1-inch air cushion. We might do it on the outside. I think we'll do it on the inside. Alright, so that concludes our first once over on our Oklahoma Joe's cross flow smoking unit. And like I said, we'll clean it up a bit and then we will season it with oil and do a nice little burn to do that, and then we'll cook up a nice big brisket and see how she performs.